Hi guys, it's Roy again at Predator Games with another review. I've just recently done a review for Wheel of Katamari, and I think you've all realised I love it. And I thought I'd go back to the original. Well, this is a remaster of the original, so nearly the original, yeah. So this is Katamari Damacy. It was originally released on the PS2 in 2004 in Japan initially, obviously. So they always get everything first, yeah. And in America, never released in Europe, which is a bit rubbish. I can't remember how I think I must have read somewhere about it and liked the look of it. I ended up importing a copy of it from America and pretty much instantly fell in love with it. It's just an action puzzle type game. I mean, when I explain to you what it's about, I'm going to show you a bit of the gameplay once I've stopped yakking on about it. Yeah, you are. It's very bizarre. It's very Japanese, very quirky, which kind of lends it a lot of charm as well. Basically, you are a prince. Your father is the king of the cosmos. He's sort of. I can't show you on here. He appears at times when you're playing the game. He got a little bit drunk, had an accident in the sky and knocked all the stars out of the sky or destroyed them all or something. So you have to create all the stars again for him. And how you do that is you roll around the Katamari, which is this sort of green thing. This is you, the main character, that's the prince. You roll around the Katamari, this thing, which is basically a sticky ball. It starts off where this is the third level. Sorry, I'm lying to you. The second level is you're in a house and you start on a table and you roll up different objects like paper clips and bits of paper and stuff, and then the more items you stick to the ball, the bigger items you can stick to it. So at first you might try and roll over to a bottle of ketchup and it won't stick to it, but if you stick some smaller stuff to it, then go back to it later on, then you can stick it on. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The scale in the game's brilliant. I mean, it's all totally ridiculous, but so what, it's a game, yeah. You end up where you're actually rolling up people and cars, and then eventually it ends up where you're rolling up skyscrapers and stuff and ocean liners, and it's brilliant. It's a huge amount of fun. It has got, I mean, it's got my favourite game soundtrack on it ever that has been released so far. It's brilliant. I mean, for its age as well, I don't know, it kind of, the soundtrack was ahead of its time. It's so catchy. It's amazing. I mean, the funny thing is that I said this in the previous video about Wheel of Katamari. It's still a great game, but the second game is the better of the two games. But the soundtrack from this one, the first one, is the better of the two soundtracks. There are other games in the series. It's appeared on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and they're all pretty similar because you can't do much with the formula. They're good, but for me it's the first two that are the best. I don't know, they kind of lose a little bit of magic, and the soundtrack sort of decreases in its awesomeness as the series goes on. It's been on PSP and PS Vita as well, actually. But yeah, the first game, it's pure, simple fun. It's by no means perfect. The controls take a little bit getting used to. The cameras, I mean, as is in these older games, the camera can get stuck behind scenery and that sort of thing. But because it's just so charming, you just forgive it of that. Yeah, I mean, this is the HD remaster, which was released in December 2018, I think. Only online over here. It's available physically in Japan on Switch, yeah, which is a shame because I want it physically. Yeah, I was going to wait until I went to Japan, which I'm hoping to shortly. But I just couldn't resist because it's a brilliant game. And the HD, it's gone now as well, just a minute. The HD remaster's brilliant as well. The graphics are so much sharper. The music is still amazing. It sounds even better. It's just a great deal of fun. I mean, just as an aside, the original creator, probably going to pronounce this wrong, I've written it down as well, is Keita Takahashi, who was involved with the first two games. He's moved on to other things now. He's done Nobby Nobby Boy on the PS3, or Noby Noby, if you're posh, yeah. And his most recent game is a game called Wattam or Wattam. I don't know why they have to have these bizarre names that I can't pronounce, yeah. I've not tried the latest one. I've tried Nobby or Noby, and I don't know, I couldn't get into it. It does have its fans though, as most games do. But so, right, with this one, so the second game I gave a 9 out of 10. As I say, this one, the game isn't as good, but it's still brilliant, yeah. But the soundtrack's just, it's just amazing, yeah. It's a brilliant soundtrack. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's fully deserving. It's a huge amount of fun. If you fancy something different, seriously, just get it downloaded. It's like £15, I think, something like that. And it's worth every single penny. It's a brilliant game. So I'm going to stop talking now. I'll show you a little bit of it. You'll see how rubbish I am. Yeah, see what you think. So as I say, this is the third level. So you just roll the ball around, stick things to it, sort of the magnets and stuff. The bigger you get, the bigger items you can stick. If you can hear the soundtrack, it's just brilliant, yeah. Way ahead of its time, that soundtrack. It just hasn't aged a day, yeah. So yeah, there you go, sticking stuff on. We can't stick these cans on yet, but what we'll do is we'll try and get some more stuff on. Avoid the cart, is way too big. If you try and run into stuff that are too big, it'll knock things off the Katamari. But no. As I say, the controls take a little bit of getting used to, but once you do, you'll be flying round, yeah. It says as he misses everything. It's just like all everyday objects and stuff. Look, I banged into him, he's too big yet, but here we go, wait. We can sort of turn around as well, we'll go back. No idea what that green... Look, there we go, right. When it does that, that means that your ball's a little bit bigger. Never thought I'd say that on a YouTube video. I still can't stick them on though, which is a bit rubbish, but let's get loads of stuff in here. Usually have a time limit as well, and at the start of every level, the King of Cosmos tells you how big he wants the Katamari to be, and then at the end of the level, if you've hit the target, he changes that into into a star. I should have turned the music up a bit more so you could hear it. I think it's like one of the very first game soundtracks I ever bought, and I still listen to it now. I've played and completed this game so many times, you think I'd be better, wouldn't you? But yeah, just love it. Ah, look, there you go. Now we can stick the cams on, and you've got a little bit bigger. And the graphics are just brilliant in this remaster. So bright and colourful, great, I love it. That's the King of the Cosmos there. He just comes up and makes some quirky comments every now and then. So yeah, that I won't show you anymore. Yeah, that's Katamari Damacy. It's not in store, unfortunately. It's just an online purchase on the Nintendo Switch store. It's about £15. It's worth every penny. Cheers for listening, guys. We'll see you again soon.